Hello, investors. It is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Monday, January 13th, 4:55 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state still in a short-term pullback. And if we look at the trend gauge over here, market leaders, we still have them flagged as neutral. Definitely the true leaders and the true RS is standing out big time. And we saw a little bit of that today follow through into the close. Short term, we're trading below the 21 EMA. Medium term indexes are trading below the 50-day moving average. And then long term, we remain above the 200-day moving average. And the market doesn't get into serious trouble till we have a sustained break below that moving average and live below. So what happened today? Well, kind of a day one rally attempt. S&P 500 put an undercut and reclaim of the 100-day moving average, and into the close, some leaders stood out, specifically Tesla and Bitcoin with some strength. I'll cover those charts when I get into it. 21 over 21 list was down 1.71%. 5 green, 1 neutral, 15 red. Big 8 was down 0.36%. RG8 was down 0.41%. And then I'll cover, and then, sorry, 60/40 was down 0.05%. And then GROTECTION was down 0.12%. It's pretty much flat on the day. Let's take a look at the inter-asset correlation. So S&P 500. So pretty good day today. So we woke up with a Monday morning gap down, and this works two ways. Uh, you know, we don't love Monday morning gaps. They tend to get faded, and then vice versa. Monday morning gap down with bad sentiment and already 4 days down into the move. It looked like a reversal was probable. Put that low within the first 5 minutes of the day, kind of rallied up, came back down, retested this area, and then saw a nice trend into the close, reclaiming 5,800. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart, and can see kind of trying to undercut and reclaim these two previous lows. So maybe the market gets some fuel if it can jet back up through here. Stochastics pretty oversold, building higher lows here, and then starting to hook back up. And then on the weekly, undercut and reclaim of that 100-day moving average and reclaim that, and then coming back in this 58.80 level would be big. And then, 58.70, 58.65 right here. But all in all, pretty good action and good to see. The market tends to move in waves. So, you got 3 days up here, and then that corresponded with down. You got 4 days down here, rallied back up. And now we're like 4 days down in a row onto a support on a moving average and getting a nice upside reversal. So, I'm viewing this as pretty positive. So today's lows will be key heading into the rest of the week. We got economic data as well. PPI tomorrow, CPI Wednesday. RSP finding support at the 200-day moving average, which is really good to see. If this is going to stay in a long-term uptrend, this moving average should hold. And then this was kind of looking like a bear flag, and I mentioned this before. From failed moves come fast moves. So a scenario here is this is a failed bear flag breakdown with support at the 200-day. Would love to see this pop back up, build a higher low, and then get going. The Qs. Good to see this hold 503.52. This was we bounced right off it. This was a high in the summer and then we went into that correction. But again, holding the 100-day moving average, yeah, holding the 100-day moving average, nice support at that 503 and 500 psychological level. Indexes did come and fill that election announcement gap. So we'll see if this can wedge pop back up, build a higher low, and then continue. But again, today's lows, I think, are critical on a lot of stocks and the indexes. Mag 7 holding at the 50-day right here. Good if this can start to rally back up. Should help tech. Dow kind of in no man's land again, but similar setup to equal weight and mid caps. Potentially failed bear flag breakdown. Mid caps holding the 200-day and same setup. To me, this is kind of looking like a potential failed bear flag. We'll need see confirmation into the end of the week. Russell 2000, nice oops reversal off the 200-day moving average. Obviously, still a lot of work, but a reversal starts somewhere and some signs today. ARC holding up better, trying to get back through here, this 50-day moving average. FFTY bounced off the 100-day. VIX coming back down. This is good to see back below 20, and that has been a ceiling. If there's no huge event that the market is seriously worried about, when you see that volatility expand into that 20s, 25, and there's no like really like urgent event that market participants are worried about, you sometimes start to see this come back down. So that's good to see. Dollar. Would love to see this start to reverse. It is getting a little bit extended here. This could be the fuel for equities, the market to get a snap back. But again, rejecting this 110 spot. So as long as this high isn't reclaimed, the dollar has room to support, come back down to this 21 or 50 day. GLD, just kind of consolidating. Obviously got that change in character of RS the other day and pulling back to the 50 day. Gold stocks, relative weakness. Silver, just kind of, no man's land, no real trend here. Bitcoin, this is another really liked how this acted today. And from failed moves come fast moves. A lot of people like to talk about the head and shoulders top, but statistically speaking, this is a very low probability setup. And especially when you combine that with this is the first digestion after a big base breakout. So I'm still leaning pretty bullish on this chart. And obviously, everyone from Hong Kong can see this head and shoulders top, but it undercut and reclaim this neckline here, which I think is awesome. Reclaim the 50-day moving average. And, this can get back up through here. This could catch some shorts off guard. And this one's looking good. And if you look at the weekly, this just looks like a weekly flag. First digestion after that super strong run out of this base breakout. And this failed breakout actually reminds me of NVIDIA in 2023. Let's see, let me put those. It was, let's see, let me post this, sorry. Everyone was talking about this head and shoulders, here. And obviously it looked like a head and shoulders, and then this resulted in a huge, huge move to the upside, 24. And then yes, this led to that huge big base breakout. So a little bit similar, obviously different asset classes and whatnot. Bonds, good to see these start coming back up. TLT coincides with rates starting to pull back, which is good. This has been a weighing in on the market, and these look like they could have a room lower, so that's good to see. Alrighty, that's the inter-asset correlation. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Markets say, yeah, still short-term pullback. Good to see VIX back below 20. We look percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average. This is coming down. This is quote unquote in the buy zone. So good to see this start to hook back up. Means quite a lot of stocks are oversold. Could see a relief bounce. Notable news, PPI tomorrow and CPI Wednesday. Today's keys, S&P still not reclaiming the 50-day, but closing back above the 100. Q's still struggling with that 50-day, but closed above 503. 10-year and dollar still relatively strong, but we'll see if they weaken. And then some of the leaders today stood out, and I'll cover those in the charts. Day day count up 1, 4 days below the 8, 4 days below the 21. Sectors wise, metals were strong, energy, builders, real estate, regional banks, equal weight, mid caps, good to see for breadth. And then weakness, airlines. Obviously, crude oil was up 2.76%, so that doesn't help the airlines. Gold a little bit weak today, retail and biotech. In-house today, we sold NVIDIA, Google, and then we trimmed UPro. Basically, the bottom line from today is day one rally attempt. Want to see today's lows hold on a lot of things. And then leaders have been pretty clear, and I'll cover some of those when I get into the charts. RVAB is 0.87, balance at risk minus 2.38%. So that's that. Let's get into some charts of interest. All righty, we'll start with the new 21 over 21 list for the week. NBIS, this is extreme strength. Oh, let me reset this to today. I mean, just super strong. William O'Neill and How to Make Money in Stocks talks about one of the most powerful patterns, and he talks about the base on base. This kind of looks like it. This is a spinoff, but NVIDIA backed this company, and they do have pretty good sales growth moving forward. And basically, the technical setup is really good. Base on base, clearing this little range here today. Really nice volume, up 7% in a week tape. So this one feels like a beach ball underwater. Great action. EQT, this one continues to dominate for the natural gas, oil stocks. And, these are acting really good. You got a handful of names in this sector. They're acting well. I think I'll just pull up UNG. Natural gas is coming out of this big bottoming base. So this could be helping those names as well. Lulu. Some nice strength in some of the retail names. We all had that consensus over the weekend that retail stocks looked really strong. Lulu's coming off this earnings gap back here, rounding really nicely. This one looks good, but one retail name that got smoked, A&F, got crushed today. They released some like preliminary sales and stuff. The market didn't like it, but breaking down below all the moving averages. Marvell's, this chart looks fantastic. 4 days down into the 21. This one looks like it might want to break out of this flag. Continued RS building higher lows. Really like this one if the market starts to turn around. Avgo, another similar look. Never violated this gap day lows. Put in a nice reverse off the 21 and kind of has this nice looking descending trend line look here. GEV, one of the strongest names as well. This alternative energy industry group, definitely standing out, clear as day. GEV's one of the main leaders, and then there's a couple other ones as well, but this is just broke out of this base. Now it's just undercut and reclaimed 2 days in a row now, and now just consolidating that at the highs. And don't really need to say much about these numbers. They're pretty good, and the stock is crucial for the energy needs for the data center rollout. Ralph Lauren, another retail name, undercut out of this base, see if it can reclaim back up. Google holding in strong, similar pattern to Marvel, kind of 4 days down into the 21, building higher lows, never violated this. This was on that announcement with the Willow chip, quantum computing. Gold's kind of consolidating here. Robinhood looks good. You got your crypto angle here, plus, fintech, plus broker, retail adoption. Definitely a lot of catalysts for the stock moving forward, especially with that Robinhood Legend platform that they just released. This one's forming a flag here off the 21, building higher lows, clearly showing RS versus the market. Deckers, again, kind of came back down with the retail, but shook out below this 200 level reclaim. We'll see what it does. Maybe that's just a little shake and bake before it wants to break out. Reddit continues to be strong, building higher lows. See if this can reclaim the 21, and you'll see. Look at all these charts. I mean, this is a common setup theme right now. 4 days down against a descending trend line flag. That's kind of what a lot of the strong names are showing. Cyber, this one's kind of like an ascending base look here, but it's just building tight here right below highs. ALAB, again, similar to Reddit, 4 days down, see if we can reclaim the 21 in that downtrend line. Bros, best acting name in the retail restaurants group. Just kind of normal action, consolidating here at the highs, digesting these gains from that earnings gap. VST, this goes hand in hand with GEV, kind of the utility electric power, but again, these are some of the best names right now, and maybe this wants to break out. It's forming a cup here, or it wants to handle out. But again, this is pretty rare. Relative strength line new highs before price inside the base. We flagged that with GEV last week. That's definitely notable. CLS continues to respect this 21-day, super strong. VRT pulled back to the 21 and 50, but this one's kind of forming kind of a cup. Maybe shoots back up here, handles out, but nevertheless, it looks good. And we've seen some rotation back into these data center names. CRDO just kind of forming a box here. Looks good. See if it can break out. CEG. All these breakout buyers are underwater now here, but not doing anything wrong really. Coming back in, so maybe this one just needs some more time. Definitely on our watch list. Rock Lab breaking the 21 here. 50 days catching up. I mean, this one is pretty extended. It had a heck of a move from this 5 all the way into 30s. Big name in the aerospace defense space theme, so maybe this one just needs some more time to base. But although it's breaching the 21 day, I don't think it's doing anything wrong here. I wanted to show Tesla. This one's trying to get back above the 21, close back above this 400 level, and this one looks really good. Kind of had a double bottom here, failure to go lower while the market was going lower. And now it's coming against this big downtrend line from the highs. The 50-day caught up to price. And I'll show you this intraday. I mean, super strong into the end of the day. Buyers were coming in. This held the 10-week on the pullback perfectly. And if this reclaims 414.5, which is that previous high over here, I still think Tesla looks fantastic, and the story is still there for 2025. With especially with humanoids, robotics, Elon Musk, all that good stuff. But great close for this one here today as well. So I mentioned Bitcoin. We can take a look. Just take a look at MSTR. This one's starting to tightening, build higher lows. This one's got a clear downtrend line too. This is another good proxy to watch for Bitcoin strength. But I think the 21 over 21 list covers all the leaders and especially the relative strength names that stood out today. Retail theme is looking strong. That alternative energy, we can go, GEV, VST, got other names like TLN, PAM, NRG, another nice little base here. So really good strength here. And obviously all these names have really good numbers moving forward. And I think, like I mentioned, with the power needs for these data centers. So those definitely are a focus as well. Pull up the chart of SMH. We talked about how coiled this is on the weekly, just a huge wedge. Kind of failed breakout with NVIDIA initially. Now it's coming into the lower end of the channel. So it's just still, no decision, not getting that big move out of this tight, but it's getting really tight. Imagine this wants to make a move here soon. So keep an eye in there. And obviously NVIDIA sold this today, but trying to hold the 100-day moving average, see if it can reclaim that 140 spot. But some of the other, Marvell is one of the better semiconductors, ALAB, Avgo, CRDO. So definitely a good handful of names that are holding up good, and I think that's your best tell. Breadth indicators are getting a bit oversold. Averages are holding some medium-term moving averages, and some of these stocks are holding up pretty good. So we're going to be watching today's lows on a lot of things for the rest of the week, and then see if the things that have been showing strength can really move out if the market starts to turn around. So that is everything that I got today. As always, I'd like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com, or you can find me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That is 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that, I'll wrap it for Monday, January 13th, 5:13 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Connor Bates with Revere Asset Management. Telling it like it is. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.